Welcome to Spotlight. I'm Terry Harrington, and I'll be speaking with Jim Felgenaur. Today's show is sponsored by Blue Water Area Transit. Well, Jim, welcome to Spotlight.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, we know right now this is we're beginning of another good fishing season here in the Blue Water area, and the Sturgeons for tomorrow is really actively involved with this, isn't it?
Yes, we are. And one of the things that we're doing right now, in preparation for the upcoming fishing season, which for sturgeon starts July 16th, is we are running a design contest for our next sturgeon management cooperator patch.
Tell us what the patches are used for and how that helps promote the sturgeon family in the St. Clair River and Lake St. Clair area.
The Sturgeon Patch program is used by the Michigan Department of Natural Resources to collect data on tagged fish. What they do initially is set line surveys on the St. Clair River. So the DNR goes out in the springtime, late springtime, and they do set lines and they put tags in the fish. They measure them, they weigh them, they collect data from those fish. So, and then they're released back into the water, of course, for possibly an angler to catch at some later date. So they have an external tag, most of them, which is a large metal tag that can be seen on the top backside fin on the fish. And if an angler recaptures that fish and does a basic measurement, length, girth, where it was caught, when it was caught, and reports that information to the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, then they get a management cooperator patch from the DNR, and it's a collector's item. St. Clair Detroit River Sturgeon for tomorrow solicits designs for those patches. We have those manufactured, and we provide them to the Department of Natural Resources to give to the anglers.
So getting one of those patches is kind of like bragging rights, right, for the fishermen?
Well, yeah, you know, it's a real collector's item. We only manufacture every couple of years a couple of hundred patches. So each design, there's only a few available, and we don't sell those patches. The only way to get one is to catch a tagged sturgeon and report it to the DNR, or the only other way to get one is to actually design the patches, because whoever ends up doing the design, if we use their design, we always give them a couple of patches for themselves.
How many of these patches do you give out in a year's time?
You know, the DNR has about 70, or give or take a little bit, tag reports a year from anglers.
So are they kind of an elusive fish, or is it just because we're trying to protect the population and try to make it grow?
No, they're not very. In fact, they're very easily caught. You know, that's why a lot of tags get reported. But no, it's a very strong fishery. So.
And I mean, these are kind of like a prehistoric type of fish, aren't they?
Yeah, they're very interesting, and they're the largest fish in Michigan. Of course, they're a lot of fun to catch. I mean, they're just huge. They pull like crazy, and you know, more and more people are getting involved in that. And they're kind of a hidden gem. They're below the surface of the water. Nobody can see them or smell them or taste them or touch them unless you catch one. Mm-hmm. Fishing is just a great way to interact. And, you know, our patch program is just a great way for anglers to participate in sturgeon conservation and work on a cooperative basis with the DNR, you know, to help them collect data. And, you know, it helps them track growth rates and fish movements and that kind of thing from year to year. So it's a tremendously popular program.
Around here, obviously, we're right in the middle of walleye season. And do you find that a lot of people are now starting to go after the sturgeon, or is it just something they just happen to catch while they're out going for walleye and whatever else they have out there?
No, that's a lot more people are targeting sturgeon. You know, it's a little different. Us walleye guys, you know, we're all fishing for meat, right? We want to fill the freezer. But, you know, walleyes don't fight like a sturgeon does. You know, it's a difference between a 3-pound fish and a 100-pound fish, right? So sturgeon are a lot more fun, and a lot of people are interested after they fill their freezers in catching a great big giant fish, right?
So if somebody wants to design a patch, what do they need to do and how do they contact you guys?
Well, what we're doing is we're accepting designs through our email, which is stclairsturgeon@gmail.com. They just need to submit a drawing, a PDF, you know, so we can, we will look at those. If you want examples, you go to our website, which is stclairsturgeon.org, and we have examples. We have a patch page there that shows the pages we've done, the patches we've done previously, who designed them, how they were designed, and get some ideas that way. And then you don't have to be a great artist. You know, we have resources where we can have that, a graphic designer digitize that and tighten it up a little bit. So you don't have to have great artistic skills, but you just submit a PDF drawing or design, and we like to have all of those by June 6th.
Great. That deadline's coming up quick.
Yeah. That way we have time to manufacture those, tighten them up, and get them manufactured in time for the sturgeon season opener on July 16th.
Great. Well, Jim, we want to thank you for joining us on Spotlight and telling us about the sturgeon and the way everybody can get involved.
Well, again, I appreciate being here and spreading the word.
Great. And we want to thank you for joining us on Spotlight.